Welcome to You Have My Attention. I'm here with the Midnight Bat once again.
Hey girlies and internet peoples. I don't know.
So the first thing that has my attention, I just had a handful of potato chips. They hit the spot.
Oh my god.
I don't think I've had any in at least 2 months. I might be wrong though, and I forgot what I was missing.
Oh my god. Well, the same thing with me though, but for instead of chips, for me it was Pepsi, because I was in the studio and I was speaking to one of my friends and they were drinking a Pepsi, and I was like, damn, it's been a long time since I've had a Pepsi, and like I don't know why, but like just seeing them drinking it, I wanted to like have one, and so I got one from the vending machine. It was so cold, and when I drank it I was like, oh my god, it's really good.
So you like Pepsi?
Now I do. I used to think it was like a shitty version of Coca-Cola, but now I think it's better than Coca-Cola, because the only Coca-Cola that I really really like is the glass bottle ones that are made in Mexico.
The Mexican Coca-Cola.
Yeah, because they make it with like cane sugar, so it tastes better.
It does. There's a difference. Yeah, I agree. It does taste better.
Yeah, so I like Pepsi now, I guess. I don't know if it's cold, but I don't drink soda. That's why it's like rare, because I'm just not a soda drinker. I rather drink water or lemonade or
tea, iced tea,
like orange juice, chocolate milk. I don't know, like
literally anything else.
Yeah.
No, I get it. And I am also not often a soda drinker. So I like to save it for when I'm really craving it, special occasion, and it really hits the spot. Same goes for potato chips. I don't eat them that often, and that's why I said they hit the spot. But I know if I were to eat them more often, it wouldn't be the same effect. So I'm still glad that I had them. No regrets whatsoever.
Yeah, and when I'm at home, I don't want to just have water. I want to have something else that has flavor, another drink that has flavor. And so I think my new favorite is Pepsi.
I'm not gonna shame you, but I disagree. Well, I haven't had Pepsi in a while. Maybe I need to try it.
Yeah, I think you do.
I need to try it and judge it again.
Go to a vending machine and take one out and be like, okay, actually it's good. So what has Ellie been up to lately? Watching anything interesting?
Well, yes, I'll get into that. So I'm not through with watching season 5 of The Crown. I'm still going through it. I have 2 episodes to go, episode 9 and episode 10. I'm just gonna say, like, I'm just gonna give a general like update on me watching the season. So the 90s were full of some crazy scandals for the royal family. Definitely up there in terms of the most alarming decades for them, I think. I think just episode 6 was hard for me to watch because it actually detailed what happened to the Romanov family during the Bolshevik Revolution. It's also known as the October Revolution of 1917. So if you're a friend, I just want to give a friendly warning. If you have trouble with watching, violence and stuff like that, I would not recommend watching episode 6.
Is there any other violence in the show, or is that like
that's all I can remember? But I don't.
That's the only violent episode?
It's just that episode stood out to me as like that was very hard for me to watch. So I would just say that episode. But other than that, I'm impressed with the acting, the set design, the wardrobe, the hair and makeup is on point. The accents and mannerisms as portrayed by the actors are good as well.
Yeah, like I only saw like a snippet with you the other day, and it was just of Princess Diana, and that's all I cared about. Like I didn't care about the rest of it. I just wanted to watch Princess Diana. And the actress that they got to play her,
Elizabeth
is
Debicki,
so good, and she does her mannerisms so well, and like even the way that she tilts her head down is the way that Princess Diana would do it, like in like when she was talking in interviews. Like if you watch any interviews of Princess Diana, you'll see like the way she moves her head. I'm like, that's exactly correct. So she must have studied her extensively. And she looks the most out of every single Princess Diana interpretation that I've ever seen. She is the most accurate. Like her face, she actually looks like her hair, you know, the clothes is right. And I did see Spencer, but Kristen Stewart doesn't really look like Princess Diana. But I thought she did a good job. But like, I think this woman, what's her name?
Elizabeth Debicki.
Yeah,
I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah, she is doing a phenomenal job, from what I've seen. So yeah, I like that aspect of the show.
I agree. She did a fantastic job.
Also, this is so random, but I guess the podcast already knows that I'm really into RuPaul's Drag Race, but there was an episode of All Stars 2 where the queens had to dress up as like famous women in history, and one of them was Princess Diana, and Katya played Princess Diana. So I thought that was like a funny, every time I think of all the Princess Dianas that have existed that have been played by other people, that's the one that I always think about, is the Katya interpretation. And and the Kristen Stewart one.
Yeah, so I think I've mentioned this before, but the show is historical fiction. So it's based on people in real life. Some are still living. Has to be taken with a grain of salt. The writers took liberties with the dialogue and what they were talking about. So it's not, some of the things that were said in the episodes by the characters cannot be taken as like, oh, they literally verbatim said this to each other, especially in those private conversations. But like I said, it's very well done.
And also when I was watching it with you, I was shocked that the actress that plays Umbridge in Harry Potter is in the show.
Yeah, she plays Queen Elizabeth II. I think she did a really good job. I honestly forgot it was her when I saw her. I didn't think of the other character she portrayed. Do you agree with me or no?
Well, as soon as I saw her, that's what I immediately thought of. Like when I saw her in the screen, I just said, "Oh my God, Umbridge!" But I mean, since I'm not an avid watcher of The Crown, then like that's the first thing I'm gonna think of.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think she really looks like her though. Like, well, they really did a good job of making her look like her, you know, Queen Elizabeth II. So I also brought in some of my plants indoors.
I noticed that.
You noticed it?
Yeah, I mean, one of the plants, we have like a pineapple plant or something, and it actually grew, but like the thing is looking a little brown. But like
brown? It's not brown.
The big one? Yeah, it is.
It's reddish. It's turning colors.
It's not green anymore. So I was like, okay, what's happening? Is it dying? What's going on?
I don't think it's dying. I think it needs some nutrients. It's lacking certain nutrients, and I need to figure out what it is. Because it's causing the foliage to change color, and not in a cutesy fall way, more in a
looks like it's sick way.
Yeah. Poor plant. I need to figure out what's going on with it. I know it doesn't like the cold, so I brought it inside. It might need, I don't know, calcium? I have no idea. I'm pretty clueless when it comes to plants. I need to find out what it needs. I usually have trouble keeping them alive when they're indoors, though. So I need to figure out what I need to do to make it adjust to indoors. And I think it might need to be repotted too, because it seems to be outgrowing its pot.
Yeah, that thing's been in there for a long time. But like we had an avocado tree at one point.
Oh no. And yeah, that one didn't make it.
Actually, it didn't make it, but it lasted a really long time. And it outlived its brothers and sisters.
It did. It's because I brought it inside, and
it was during like the wintertime when you brought it, and it really did last for a long time.
Yeah, it's not meant to grow here, but I tried my best to keep it alive. Hopefully the pineapple plant I have more success with, though I know I don't live in a tropical climate, so It's very possible. It is possible. People have been successful.
Okay.
So we'll just have to see.
I don't know that much about plants. So.
Me either. I try my best though.
And then they die.
And then they die. Oh,
Plant
it's so
killer.
It's so hard to keep them alive.
It's just like that community channel video, like where she just can't help it because she's not good at taking care of plants, so the plant just dies. So she's the plant killer.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to her? Like I know that she still makes videos like once a year. But
every so often, once in a blue moon, as they say.
Yeah, and she's so good and so funny.
She's out there living her life.
I know.
Doing other stuff.
I'm proud of her, but I just like love her so much that I'm like, come back. Just like Jenna Marbles.
Do you think she'll ever come back?
Jenna? In the far future, perhaps. I don't think it's happening anytime soon. If it will happen, but she has like a creative spirit, so she's making things. I'm sure she is.
Yeah, I don't. When people choose to leave the internet space of, making videos and being very public, I respect it.
Yeah,
like I get it.
I've followed many YouTubers over the years, and I've seen several of them leave, and like I understand why. It's not for everybody. And
it's not for everybody all the time. Yeah,
and that's totally fine, but obviously I'm still gonna miss them because I like their stuff, so
you could still watch their old stuff.
Yeah, but sometimes they get deleted or they get privated, so you can only hope for a re-upload.
Does that happen because they private or delete it?
Yeah,
I assume so, right?
Yeah, they do. That happens.
Well, it is what it is. Does anything else have your attention right now in the internet world?
I mean, plenty. Everything always does because, it's oversaturated with content.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. There's this girl on Instagram who I think also makes TikToks, but I watch her reels because I don't use TikTok. But she is a girl that looks a lot like Bella Swan. So people will...
I saw this.
You know who I'm talking about? I bet I can find her.
I think I stumbled upon it through the algorithm too.
Yeah, and she's so funny too, and she really does look like her, so people will tell her all the time. And
you're talking about Bella Swan, the main character from Twilight.
Yeah,
the protagonist.
Yeah. But it was so funny because she made a video where she was in the that scene in Twilight where she's in the hospital and she has like the breathing tubes.
Talking about the first movie, correct?
Yes, the first movie. The most iconic one. Yes. But for the TikTok girl or the girl on Instagram, she put like headphones, like she put like a headphone wire up to her nose to make it look like it was the breathing tube. So I thought that was so funny. I don't know. Yeah, I need to,
she acts out scenes from the movie, but like does them in a parody kind of way.
Yeah,
because I remember seeing a little clip of it, but I didn't delve too far deep into what her content was.
Yeah, I really want to find her now because I just think she's so funny. You're not really into Instagram, so I was gonna ask you if you like any other things.
I have an Instagram, but I don't spend too much time on it personally. I probably should spend a little more time to learn more about it.
So you haven't looked at it at all, or you
her Instagram?
No, I mean like any other stuff on Instagram.
Oh yeah, I have a little bit, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I spent so much time not on most social media that it kind of led to me develop my, I don't know, attention, the way my attention works with the internet. I can't very short form content delivered rapid fire, like one after the other. It drains me out pretty quickly.
Oh, okay.
And I find myself actually getting bored of it. So it's weird. It's like, I know it's possible to go down a rabbit hole on these kinds of apps, TikTok and that kind of thing. I don't have TikTok, but I have used YouTube Reels, or what are they called? YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, YouTube Shorts.
Like watch them. But I don't like to spend too much time on them because I just feel like I don't know. It feels like my brain is being fried, if that makes sense. If I like watch too many in a row, so then I just put the phone down. And I find that with Instagram because it's more that way, and I haven't been spending years and years on it like so how some other people have. I haven't like been eased into it, so I don't feel
comfortable.
I guess I just don't enjoy it as much.
By the way, while you were going through the whole spiel about not being on Instagram because you think it's gonna, I don't know, mess
I'm
mess
not
with your attention span or whatever. Your attention span. Like, I've been scrolling through Instagram trying to find the Bella girl.
Well, it's because you're trying to look for something. It's not like you're just doing it while I talk and not pay attention to me.
No, but I just had to do with what you were talking about.
Oh yeah, that's funny. So does the Twitter stuff have your attention? The whole Twitter thing going on?
I know everyone like hates Twitter or whatever, but I only enjoy it because I do things on there that I enjoy. Like, I follow people that I like, and like the only like bad or fucked up controversial things that I see on my timeline are popular tweets. That's like the only time I ever see something of people being hateful, but like the things that I follow on Twitter are not hateful. So I don't hate Twitter like most people do, because they're looking at current event things that are like, you know, have people really mad and angry and stuff like that and fighting in the comments, and people are obviously rude on there. So I try my best to avoid that by not following all that stuff. I just follow the things that I like. So
that's a good strategy.
Twitter. Yeah, I actually like it just because of that.
That's I think if you're gonna spend time on Twitter, that's the best thing to do.
Yeah,
it's just not good to see this people angry and just seeing that all the time. It's just not very healthy, I think.
No, it makes me feel horrible.
So do you have to mute? How does it work? Because I'm not on Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't use Twitter. The only time I will have stumbled into Twitter the past couple years is just it comes up when I search something online, like on a actual web browser. And then something might pop up and I might click on something and read a little bit of a thread. But how does it work when you have the app? I'm seriously sounding like someone who's clueless about social
What's
media.
your question? I'm confused.
Basically, my question is it easy to avoid all that negative stuff that you're talking about, the news stuff on Twitter?
Well, I can, because of all the types of accounts that I follow, because the events and the news is on a separate tab. I mean, I can go on Twitter right now and look, but I never click on the news, like never. So I just look at my timeline and
that's it.
My notifications, and that's literally it.
Okay, so I didn't know if it was the kind of thing where it feeds you trending things or has an algorithm and it just forces it on your feed. I didn't know if it was that kind of thing.
I mean, maybe it can, but like I don't. That's not. It doesn't.
You don't engage with it.
It doesn't normally happen.
Okay.
So, I mean, this is interesting because I just went on Twitter and Little Monsters is trending, which is, you know, Lady Gaga's fans.
Uh-huh.
So, and I'm a huge Lady Gaga fan, and I'm doing a Lady Gaga painting right now. So, I'm kind of wondering why it's trending.
Yeah, what's going on? Well, if Twitter implodes, what will you do?
Like if it doesn't exist anymore?
Yeah, if it disappears, if it ends.
If Twitter doesn't exist anymore, it's fine, honestly, because it's not my main social media. I would be fucked if Instagram died, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon because it's, you know, way too integral, or what's the word? Integral into our society or whatever. I don't know. Too important because people use it for their businesses and like the way jobs.
It's managed differently. A lot of things would have to go wrong in the way that it's managed, I think, for it to be ended.
Yeah, so if Twitter dies, like it's not that bad for me specifically. But if it does, I will be a little sad because that's how I get my news about, you know, things that I like. Trixie and Katya, like I follow this one account and it's just called like Daily Trixie and Katya, and it's run by this fan, and I just really like that fan and like what they tweet like on their own separate account because they're like, you know, great.
So you don't follow it for any you don't watch other stuff on there. You don't look at other stuff on there.
It's only
just fan
it's
stuff.
only drag race stuff or like a few YouTubers, like not that many, you know what I mean?
Okay. So where do you get your news?
Like regular people news?
Yeah, like regular real life news.
YouTube.
How do you get it on YouTube? Is it through
It just
videos?
pops up on my recommended.
So like actual like news stories or just someone
Yeah, but-
covering the news? Like an independent
Both.
YouTuber.
It's mainly the YouTubers. But honestly, I don't look at that stuff really.
You just read the headline and you move on.
No, like I'll watch the video sometimes, but like, you know, I'm not really up to date with every single thing, but I do hear about it because of YouTube and sometimes Twitter. So YouTube is the main source.
Okay. Do you feel content with the way
I'm good.
the news is
I don't need to
presented
look
to you?
at, you know, in my opinion, like I'm not like looking at Twitter for news, like, so I don't know. I just find it eventually, you know, it comes if something in the world is happening, it will find you if you're on the internet. So it's just YouTube, man, you know.
Yeah. I saw some data recently about the most used websites by Gen Z and younger millennials, and the number one website that American teenagers and young people spend time on is YouTube.
Yeah.
So
I grew up on YouTube, so like that's like always been my main thing, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
So I don't mind if Twitter dies. It's okay because I didn't grow up on Twitter. I didn't get a Twitter till I was an adult, so I'm not really heartbroken by that. If YouTube died, my whole world would end. So yeah.
Several years ago, I made a Twitter account for the sole purpose of speaking with customer service for some company I was subscribed to, some like textbook thing.
What? Are you serious?
I'm serious. And then I promptly deleted my account.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Actually, the reason why I created my Twitter is the most dumbest reason I've ever freaking heard, because people just use it because, you know, they want to see what's happening. But I literally created my Twitter because I wanted to make do you remember when it was popular on YouTube? I mean, some people still do it, but it was like really popular at one point to where people would make those tier, what is it called, like tier makers or lists or whatever, where it's like S tier, A tier, B tier. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I literally only made a Twitter because they wouldn't let you make one unless you had a Twitter or something, and I was like, this is weird. Why are they making me use a Twitter account? So I made one, and then that's literally why I started it. And then I was like, let me just see how Twitter is. And then I started to learn how to use it, and it took me a little bit to figure out. But yeah, I like it.
What do you think is the most user-friendly social media out there?
User-friendly? What do you mean? Like just easy to use?
Yeah, like, okay, I guess I should reframe my question. If you're someone who doesn't use social media, what would be the easiest one to learn to use?
Probably YouTube.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Literally, old people can look up a YouTube video and have no issue. But an old person probably doesn't know how to use Instagram unless, you know, their grandchildren teach them. I don't know.
Yeah, Instagram it has more of a learning curve, I've noticed.
Yeah, it does. But once you learn it, you're like, okay, I'm good. You know.
What do you think a world would be like without any social media? Like if all social media ended?
I don't really like that idea because like social media can help spread the word to a lot of things, but a lot of causes.
It's good things too, right? It can have good uses.
Yeah, I don't like that idea of getting rid of social media altogether.
Do you like the idea of some certain social media sites slowly dissipating away?
Which one do you want gone? Because I don't really care.
I don't have one, but I just think some are less important than others.
Okay, which one?
Twitter.
Okay, that one's probably gonna die, but like I like it, so I'm not one of those people that is like, social media is ruining everything. I'm not one of those people.
It's not. I think it's just the way it's used, or like, it can be better, but it's not ruining. It's not ruining things. It's not ruining things. People let things ruin. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm sorry. I just started talking. I don't know what I'm saying.
It's fine.
But yeah.
So we all know that Ellie's not a social media person.
No, I'm not. And I know about it enough to understand what's going on, but I'm not actively spending hours of my day on it.
Yeah, I know that some celebrities don't even manage their own accounts or anything like that.
I don't blame them for that, because it's a lot of work, actually.
It is a lot of work, but sometimes you don't know if it's actually them or anything.
Oh, that's true.
Like,
I guess they kind of have someone seem like it, like it's them, but it's not. Yeah, the way they post and things like that.
Sometimes I wonder if RuPaul is actually tweeting or not. Because I just don't believe it. You know what I mean? But I know that Trixie runs her stuff, but I don't know about RuPaul. Like, she's old as hell. I don't know if she's actually, gonna be using Twitter, because I feel like she's so busy and everything. So I don't actually know if it's actually RuPaul tweeting or not, or if there's someone else.
Yeah, when you're busy, how are you going to be on social media for that long of the day? Like, you got too much stuff to do.
Yeah.
Are there any other shows that have your attention at this time?
Yes, actually. Okay, I'm actually only watching one show right now, and it's Desperate Housewives. And I rewatch it like every year or something, because it's like one of my favorite shows. And the title might deter people, because it's like Desperate Housewives. It sounds like I don't know,
gossipy,
I guess. But it's so good. Like, there's a lot of drama. There's like, people dealing with real life stuff. There's I mean, like it has everything. I think it has romance. It has like murders, murder mysteries. I don't know. So yeah, I just think it's so great. And I think what makes the show great are the women, the main characters, and it's all revolving around these housewives that live on this street called Wisteria Lane, and I'm just entirely obsessed with it.
Would you put it in the category of soap opera?
I don't think it's soapy. I think it's like a drama.
So I know, but there's drama in soap operas.
I know, but like, I've seen soap operas and they're different. I don't know how to place it. I don't know how to explain it. And also soap operas,
they have certain tropes,
Yeah, they do, but I just think for sure Desperate Housewives, it's like, to me it's a dramedy, because it's like a comedy and a drama. So like, there's too much funny things going on for it to just be a drama. I don't know. I think it's like has a lot of comedy in there. There's a lot of, I would say the comic relief in the show is definitely Gabrielle Solis, or actually all the women are funny. Like, they all have funny moments, funny lines, but the one that I always think about is Gabrielle Solis, played by Evelyn Goria. So also Brie Van Camp, played by Marcia Cross. So I think they're all funny, but I just really think that Gabrielle is the funniest.
So when you say that you've rewatched it, you have it playing in the background while you're doing other stuff, right? You're not always concentrating on the whole, every single scene all the time, every single piece of dialogue.
Well, I've seen it so many times that I don't have to concentrate. I don't have to watch, but I listen, so I do concentrate on it because I want to know what's happening. Because,
in the plot.
Yeah, in the plot. I'll be like, oh, wait, what did I miss? And so I'll rewind it if I missed something. So I do pay attention to it. But if I'm painting or something and I want like a show in the background, I will just have it on my phone playing. But I pretty much know what happens. But if I forgot something, which a lot of times I do because there's so many seasons, then I will pay attention. So yes, I do pay attention.
How many seasons are there?
I have to check.
I want to say there's at least 6.
Yeah.
But less than 10?
Yeah. I can look it up right now. I don't know, but I'm on the last season. right now. Oh, 8 seasons. Okay.
Okay, yes, so I was correct.
Yeah. So, it's so funny because I want you to tell your story about when back then when Hulu used to have comments, and you found this one particular comment
It was weird. I don't know why they had it this way, but I think it was on that website.
on the website.
You could, yeah, the actual. So if you were watching Hulu on your browser at the time, you could watch a show, and then on an episode you could scroll down and people could literally comment. And I think it was like embedded with Facebook or something like that, which is a terrible idea.
It is terrible, yeah.
Terrible. There was a comment that said,
the comment said, Lynette is a bitch. And every time we always make that joke. You know what I mean? Like, because it's so funny. And I really, really wish that I knew what episode they commented on.
I don't remember, but I disagree with that commenter. I mean, I don't always like what her character does, but come on.
No, yeah, like, actually, I mean, I think it's way too easy to call Lynette a bitch because she does all the hard work in terms of, like, the relationship of her and her husband and the family. She's, like...
On the show, she is, you know, always making the hard decisions, and, you know, she's always the bad guy, and her husband is always the good guy, you know, in the eyes of her children and all that, like, with all the hard decision making. So I feel like it's way too easy for people to call her a bitch just because she's the one calling the shots, or, you know, like, taking care of her family. And if one of her kids doesn't like what she's saying, then I feel like it's way too easy to call her a bitch. And then they'll be like, oh, Tom, her husband, they'll be like, oh, Tom's a nice guy. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, because he lets her decide, make the hard decisions, which is unfair.
Yeah, and he likes being liked.
That's a fair criticism, and I agree.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite character on that show?
I want to say it varies by season, because the most recent season that I saw you were watching, I was pretty disappointed in the one character with the red hair, Brie Vandekamp.
Brie Vandekamp, that's my favorite character.
She was disappointing me with her choices in the season that you were on. I don't know if you're still on that season, but I saw that you're watching it, and I saw a few, like, scenes from some episodes while you're watching it, and I was disappointed. So
actually, yeah, that's how I felt about, there was a season, I can't remember which season, but it was one of the later seasons, where Carlos's character, Carlos Solis, where he literally, like, mistreated Lynette when he found out that she was pregnant and still working. Like, the way he was treating her, as if he's like, I'm gonna mistreat her, but I'm not gonna fire her, but I want her to, like, leave. Like, I'm gonna mistreat her so bad that she wants to leave, basically. And, like, I was like, this is so not like his character. I feel like he's always, like, doing the moral thing. Even when he fucks up, he actually has remorse. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, this is very extreme. But in the final season, the spoiler alert, Carlos.
The show's been done for 10 years.
Oh, well, yeah, but some people don't know it.
Okay.
Well, spoiler alert. Carlos kills a guy, basically, but he was, like, a predator, you know, towards his wife, you know what I mean, like, when she was underage.
Wait, he's the one that
Carlos kills the stepdad.
I thought it was Brie.
No, it's not Brie.
Okay.
Carlos kills him because he was, like, about to, like, you know, attack or harass. He's been harassing his wife, or the Gabrielle.
Yeah.
So, you know, he, like, killed him because, you know, he didn't mean to kill him. He just, like, you know what I mean, meant to get him away from her and things like that. And, like, so yeah, I don't know. Where was I going with this?
I don't know.
What was I talking about? I don't know. I just really like that show.
Oh, like we were talking about favorite characters. And...
favorite character, Brie Vandekamp. Do you have one that you relate to the most? I do have one.
No, I don't think so. Maybe Lynette.
Oh, actually, yeah, I can kind of see that. But I relate to Andrew. Because, you know, he was, like,
Brie Vandekamp's son.
Yeah. You know, he was, like, the young, he was like young, he was gay, and then like his mother had trouble accepting it, and he was always the fuck up, messing up on a lot of things, but then grows as a person, but he still messes up, he's still human. So I don't know, he's very believable as a character or as a person. So and I do believe they're all like, these characters are very believable, like the actors are amazing.
So actually, now that I think about it, I think I can kind of relate to Julie.
Actually, yeah, I do see that too, for sure.
More than Lynette, I think, in my case.
Yeah, Julie's younger, so I feel like y'all are closer in age.
It's not just the age thing, it's just like her experience on the show, what she goes through.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can relate to her.
Which moment did you specifically?
I guess some with her parents, or like kind of how the kind of person she is, and like the things that happen to her.
Mm-hmm.
And the way she reacts. I don't know.
No, yeah, I think y'all are very similar. I do see that for sure. And if Julie had siblings, I think that, I think
she does have a sibling, but it's a half sibling later on.
Wait a minute.
MJ.
Actually, yeah, that's right. Okay.
But there's such a large age gap between them, and they have different dads that
they like never interact. Have you noticed that?
It's very.
It's because
small.
She like doesn't live at home anymore.
By
the
it's
time
very
MJ
small.
is, born and things. So they never interact. So you don't even think about that they're even siblings, because she's like never there when he's there. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So, yeah. So yeah, I've been obsessed with that show, and I know that the woman that plays Edie, Nicolette Sheridan, is she had bad experiences with the creator. So, and I was kind of like reading an article about that, a while back, because I wanted to know, why did they kill off her character? Like, I didn't think that was right. And then I figured out, she was having issues with the creator. And so
internal drama.
Yeah.
I see. So when the show ends, after you rewatch it, do you feel sad?
A little bit, because I was like, dang it, like I wanted more, but you know what I mean? Like, it's a long show, so I get it. And it had to end sometime, but then I just wait some time, and then I just rewatch it again. I'm like, oh, it's nice to, you know what I mean?
Start over.
It's nice to start over, because then you get to experience it again.
It takes you months to get through rewatching it, right? Again, because it's so many episodes and so many seasons.
It does take me months.
Well, are there any shows that are coming out, or anything else that you're
yes, I mean,
looking forward to?
Yes, that new Wednesday Addams show that they're going to release on Netflix.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that one.
The main actress on the show, she was in another show we've watched before called Jane the Virgin. She plays a younger Jane, the main character.
Yeah, she's great. So I mean, I thought she was great in Jane the Virgin. So when I saw the trailers for the Wednesday show, I was like, yeah, she was the perfect choice. I really do think she was the perfect choice.
Have you seen any? Well, so you've seen the trailer, right?
Yes.
What draws you to it?
Well, I've always been a fan of the Addams Family, and when I would watch the movies like that from the 90s when I was younger, I always wished that I could be in the Addams Family. I was like, I belong there. I don't belong here. Like, I feel like that's my actual family, and I always related to Wednesday, and so I always felt like I was kind of like Wednesday. Mm-hmm.
So, one last thing I want to ask you, if it has your attention. Rihanna at the Super Bowl. Are you a Super Bowl watcher? Do you watch the halftime show at least? I know you don't care about football, but
I don't care about football. I don't care about the Super Bowl. And the only ones that I can remember is the only performance I can remember is the Lady Gaga one, where she like jumps off of the roof or whatever. She jumps off of the ceiling, and she like lands, and then she continues, her performance. And I was like, what? This is crazy. But I don't know anything about I didn't even know Rihanna was gonna perform.
Really? That was big news. I'm surprised you didn't know about that.
No.
What do you think about it?
I mean, I like Rihanna, so I mean, I've been listening to that one song.
Her new single that dropped recently?
No.
Oh.
I don't know none of her new music.
Oh, no. She just had I think just one or two songs, maybe. I'm not sure if it was really... I know she had some music coming out because of her involvement with the soundtrack for the new Black Panther movie.
Oh, I didn't know she was releasing a song for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, it's because the other day, I think, like, I just heard, like, What's My Name on the radio or something, and so I just played it, so I was just like, oh, I forgot how good the song was. So it's the one with Drake, and I didn't even know that they were a couple. I don't know nothing about them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually didn't know about that for the longest time either. I wasn't following that news area so much, frankly.
Yeah.
So are you gonna watch it though? Are you gonna watch the Super Bowl halftime show this year?
I don't know when it happens.
It always happens in February.
Okay.
I want to say before Valentine's Day.
Okay.
I
don't know anything about it.
So did you watch the Lady Gaga one?
I don't care about football. I like
know.
Lady Gaga. So I watched the Lady Gaga one.
Did you watch the Katy Perry one with the sharks?
With the sharks? I'm not sure. I would have to look at the outfits to remember.
Oh my gosh, it was such a meme moment.
What year was that?
2000 something.
Was it the one with all the beach balls?
I want to say 2014.
Okay, well, I would have to look at images to see if I even know it, but the only one I can think of is Lady Gaga jumping off the ceiling or off the roof. I don't remember.
Did you watch it when it happened?
No, I saw it on YouTube.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
No, 2014 was Bruno Mars, Beyonce. I don't remember who else.
Yeah, the only interesting thing about the Super Bowl is the
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah,
the hooligans.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate you coming on. I'll talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.